Hi there, I'm Angela Sharp, and welcome to the Daily Mix. Okay, you guys, I don't know if you've been to the mall lately. I know the mall, so 1990s of me. But I went to the mall for the first time since this whole pandemic thing started. And I was not prepared for the mall at all. See, some stores in the mall are letting you walk around, without a mask. Other stores in the mall are requiring a mask, and I wasn't prepared for that. I went in there without a mask, and then there were certain stores I just could not go into. So that is my little PSA to you. If you're planning on going shopping for, maybe some new summer wardrobe or whatever, you might need to bring a mask. Also, which I think is even weirder, is if you go into Sephora, you can play with all the makeup. So like I can touch the makeup and then you can touch the makeup and now we're touching the makeup. But if we go into a different store, we have to wear a mask. So it's just, we're in this weird world where the stores aren't all quite cut up yet. So just, so you know. If you were wondering what I bought at the mall, I bought incense and that's it because they didn't have anything else that I wanted. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know how people shop for clothes. So if, by the way, you are really good at shopping, send me a message, let me know where to go. Later on in the show, I'm gonna have Simonne Kimble on. She's also known as MonneXo, and her 94XO is a new platform where she's speaking to everybody going on in and around St. Louis, all with love. So let's get started on our Daily Mix. Do you remember a few weeks ago when it was super cold and we were wondering when summer was gonna get here? Well, it's definitely summer now. And if you're looking for a way to beat the heat, St. Louis City's 3 outdoor pools, Chambers, Fairground, and Marquette are now open daily starting at noon each day. The city has worked hard to get these pools open despite having several summer jobs that still need to be filled. That includes lifeguard jobs, which are open to ages 15 and up and pay at least $15 an hour. So that might be a great summer job for you. Now, whether you want to earn extra cash or, just take it easy this summer and hang out by the pool, St. Louis-mo.gov is the place to find pool schedules, job openings, and more. It'd be a great place to kind of lay out. I would like to get a suntan, check out the scenery. Okay, those blue envelopes that show up in your mailbox each month? I didn't either, but they do, they're there. Now that I know about this, I've been looking, they're there. They're full of coupons and savings that come from Valpak. Well, starting this week, St. Louisans will begin receiving 2 of these envelopes each month, and it'll definitely be worthwhile to take a look inside because it might just make you $100 richer. That's right, $100 checks have been randomly inserted into the envelopes, and they are legit. There's no strings attached. And St. Louis is one of just 6 markets that now has 2 chances each month to get one of the surprise checks. That would be pretty cool, especially if you weren't paying attention to these little coupon bags. Now that you will be, you're gonna note that there might be some good coupons, but you might get an extra $100. You can find even more coupons and special offers online at valpak.com. Now, this week, the city of St. Louis will restart its vaccination efforts for homebound residents. The mobile effort will deliver the Johnson & Johnson vaccine to areas with more than 200 homebound residents already signed up to receive the shot. Homebound residents who would like to receive a COVID-19 vaccine can call the St. Louis Area Agency on Aging at 314-612-5918, Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. to schedule an appointment. Via Metro STL, the region's first on-demand transit service, launched last year as an affordable and convenient transit option for St. Louisans. And it keeps getting better. Just last month, they added new service areas and hours in North and Southwest St. Louis counties to include even more communities and key destinations to better match the needs of their riders. Now the service is available on Transit, the official app of Metro Transit, making it even easier for users to plan trips that best fit into their commutes and make the most of their entire Metro network. Transit is available in the App Store and on Google Play, or by visiting transitapp.com. To learn more about Via Metro STL, including service zones and operating hours, visit metrostlouis.org/via. Now, this Saturday, June 19th, there will be celebrations throughout St. Louis for a very important holiday. Juneteenth, also known as Freedom Day, honors the end of slavery and marks the day the troops arrived in Texas in 1865 to ensure all enslaved people were free nearly 3 years after the Emancipation Proclamation. Now, we caught up with the Board of Aldermen President Louis Reed to talk about Juneteenth and this year's Ride for Freedom event. Take a look.
It signifies a day of freedom and equality for people. This year we're going to celebrate it with a motorcade. The motorcade is going to start out at the Urban League headquarters at 11 o'clock. It will leave there at noon and end up here at the old courthouse where they heard the historic Dred Scott case. It's a big part of American history. Please join us to celebrate Juneteenth. Thank you to Odyssey Radio, Nate Dixon, and Little D for all they're doing to help to promote it.
And once again, the Juneteenth Ride for Freedom will take place this Saturday, June 19th. The motorcade will meet at Urban League headquarters at 11 a.m. and begin making its way through downtown around noon. Now, we can't forget that this Sunday is also Father's Day. So, hey, Dad, happy Father's Day. My dad and I actually, this past weekend, I heard about a car show. My dad and I love cars. We tried to find the car show. I didn't exactly know where we were going. So my dad and I just kind of chased classic cars around a neighborhood that the car show was supposed to be at. We ended up only finding like 5 cars, but we had a ton of fun and we laughed. And you know, dads have some of the best advice, right? So I always ask my dad like for his advice. And actually when you're little, you don't ask, dad just give you the advice. Well, if you know me on a personal level, you know I'm very blunt. I get that directly from my dad. So I don't feel I can share with you any of the advice my dad gave me on this platform. But let me tell you one saying he used to tell me when I was 5, had to do with milk, cows, and you know, not giving it away for free. So that's something he told me when I was 5. I had no idea what he's telling me about. So that's the best advice my dad gave me. Here is some more great advice from people's fathers.
You have to love yourself.
Use your head for more than a hat rack. That means think. And that's the one that I think stands in my mind the most.
My dad has some sayings, but they're not really appropriate for TV.
Not to take life too seriously, you know, just kind of go with the flow. Things happen for a reason type thing.
Do your homework, double check your notes, and always be a gentleman.
I mean, that's some really good advice. I mean, dads usually have the best advice. As you can tell now, I'm in my magical Zoom box because I'm joined by my guest, Simonne Kimble. She is here with me. So nice to have you here today.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm super excited.
Okay, now we've got to talk. You've got your own thing going, but you started at STL TV as an intern, right?
Definitely, yeah.
All right, so walk me through what the intern experience was like here and then how that kind of helped you go out on your own.
Okay, so when I first came to STL TV, I was super shy, had no idea what I was doing. And so when I met Andre, like, he kind of just threw me in, and I think that was probably like the best experience, because a lot of places, they don't really throw you in. They kind of like give you things to do behind the scenes, like work, paperwork, and things like that. But like on my first day, I started like floor directing. So I think those types of things have helped me to be where I am now, because it took me out of my comfort zone, and it gave me a lot of opportunity to grow and really like learn who I am as an individual.
Yeah, and I do think that's huge. I think when people step out of their comfort zone, that's where everything they want is right on the other side of wherever they're comfortable with. So
Yeah.
that's really cool. Now you've got your own thing, MonneXo.
Yeah, so 94XO, MonneXo is my stage name. I came up with the idea like years before, so even before I was interning, but I didn't really understand like what I was doing. So I was really into podcasting. So 94XO started off as a podcast, but now I'm just doing strictly video interviews. And then when I started, I was kind of doing like this gossip entertainment thing. And it didn't work for me like at all. And so in the middle, like that's when I started interning at STL TV. That's when I started working in radio promotions. And that's when I kind of started figuring out like, hey, we don't have like a lot of positive outlets here that only focus on positive news. Like it's always something about gossip and negativity and things like that. And I kind of wanted to flip the narrative and show like, hey, especially like in St. Louis area, you know, there's all these cool different things that we can do and experience and work together. So that's when I rebranded, started doing video interviews and just right now, I think my goal is just kind of just change the narrative in the St. Louis area and then expand and, you know, really like make a difference in the community.
Yeah, and I think that's huge that you were able to see that this wasn't working for you. And instead of giving up, you were like, how can I spin this to make it work for me and my market that I'm in?
Yeah, definitely. Because I was going to say, like, you know how media is, and it's not easy behind the scenes, in front of the camera. So like to just kind of rebrand, like it was hard because it was those days where I kind of wanted to go back and be like, oh, you can go viral doing these types of things. So really like having the circle around me of people that have like supported me with this change of mindset with what I'm trying to do has helped me grow a lot.
Yeah, and that's huge. So like walk somebody through who doesn't know anything about 94XO, kind of tell them exactly what it is so they know why they want to come and watch.
Yeah, so it's a media outlet. We focus on promoting people, creatives, artists in a positive light. So we also do like IG Lives on Wednesdays that are called XO Wednesdays. And so the XO part of my brand, everything's focused around love. So using love as like the base of or foundation of my brand has helped a lot because if you know me like on a personal level, I'm really like all about love, caring about people, very empathy is really big with me and things like that. So I just care about like the people around me and wanting to help other people and not always just do things like for opportunities, but to actually like care about other people's passions.
I love that. And we recently had on some of the guys from that. We had Murphy Lee and
STFS, yeah.
You were there at the time that it happened, kind of getting interviews. So what was that experience like?
So that was really cool and it was really random. So just to kind of share with you guys, I was out of town or I was about to get on the plane, and shout out to Elizabeth Danielle, really dope PR here in St. Louis. She called me when I was getting on the plane and I was like, oh no, I'm on vacation. Like, I'm not going to answer this. Like, I'm just going to wait till I get back Monday. But I was like, no, let me just answer, you know, see how she's doing. And she's like, hey, we would love to like have you be like the exclusive, you know, media outlet here at our event and do exclusive interviews with people backstage. And I'm like, well, my flight lands at 3:30 on Sunday. So is it okay if I'm a little late? And she's like, yeah, like it's okay. So that's kind of where that opportunity came about. It was random. It wasn't planned at all. And I'm super blessed for it. So being able to meet like Murphy Lee and Kiwan and Reggie Son again, like that was super cool. It was super scary. And like I said before, like it took me out of my comfort zone a lot because it was very fast paced. If people watch my interviews, they know like I do them post-production. So me doing it live there at STL Fest was totally different.
Yeah, I mean, but that's cool. And it's great that you were able to seize the opportunity that was kind of bestowed upon you like that, because sometimes in this world, that's how you have to do it.
That's how you have to learn, exactly.
You gotta just do it. No, you were also doing the Sunday ice cream Sundays with clementines. And I love clementine, so that's got to be a cool place to start doing some of those interviews.
Yeah, so the backstory with that opportunity was, this is when I was still doing podcasting, and I got to interview the owner, Tamara. And so shout out to Julie as well. She's a really known PR here in St. Louis, and she connected us. And then after that, I just kind of kept up with them. And I'm a big fan of clementines too. So when I first interviewed, like, that was my first time. I fell in love with them. And so, like, at the end of last year, I was like, hey, like, I'm ready to grow 94XO. What are some ideas that I can do? So myself and Vidal were, like, brainstorming a lot of things. I was like, hey, I love ice cream. What if I, like, reach out to them and do some type of thing with ice cream? So yeah, this was random as well. Just wrote up a sponsorship proposal to Clementines. They love the idea, and so now we're doing ice cream Sundays up until August of this year, so just for the whole summer. And we're promoting, like, different public figures in the St. Louis area. They get to pick whatever ice cream they want, explain why they like it or love it, and then just talk about what they do in the St. Louis area and how do they make a positive impact.
I love that. Is there any big interviews coming up that you know about that you feel comfortable telling us that are coming out your way?
No, not yet. So I'm working on one. I can't say anything yet, but I'm in the works. So hopefully, like, that's going to be like the big shebang that everybody's like, oh my gosh, they had. But yeah, I've featured a lot of people. And so actually, you know what? I think I can tell you about one that's coming up soon. So I just interviewed Lydia Caesar. I know she posted about it on social. So we'll talk about her. So I'm super excited about that opportunity, just because it came a long way. And if you know Lydia's background, like, she's super awesome and a really big impact here in the city. So you guys can be looking out for that one. But yeah, we'll be going up until August. So hopefully that last month I'll have some big surprises for everybody.
I love that. And who's been your favorite to interview thus far in your career?
That's really hard to say. I don't know about favorite person, because I love everybody. Like, everyone has their own, like, different personalities, and they really bring a lot, you know, to just the city, period. I think my favorite event, though, it was STL Fest, because it was new here in St. Louis. It was something that we needed, and it helped me grow and learn, like, hey, like, you could do live now. Like, you know, you could do this a whole different way of things I didn't even think I could do. So just doing, like, those sit down interviews to now I'm, like, standing up, I got the microphone. So I think that was probably, like, my best and most, I think, enjoyable one.
I think if anybody's learned anything from your interview, it's take any opportunity and step out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, well, tell everybody where they can watch, how they can see some of these past interviews and be on the lookout for more.
Yeah, so excuse me. So on YouTube, you can search 94XO TV, and we should all pop up. On social media, you can find me at 94XO. Make sure you spell the 90 out. On Twitter, it's 94XO with an underscore. And then, yeah, that's it. If you go to my website too, it's 94XO.com. So make sure you spell it out, 94XO.com.
I love it. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Hey, that was so great. Now, after you check out 94XO, make sure you follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. You can drop us a line at thedailymix@stltv.net. We want to hear from you. That's going to do it for the Daily Mix. We keep it right here on STL TV and Experience St. Louis.